You play against EG, you forget. Razor comes in as last pick. That's exactly what just happened here. Oof.
All right, I want to see who's playing what. Z-Freak is playing the Hoodwink, so it is indeed a Gunner, mid lane Tusk, and Nightfall is going to take the off-lane Razor.
Okay, this is actually hype, right? So EG, they think they countered Nouns with the Razor into the Medusa static link against Medusa stance of ground, you lose your damage by. But then Nouns preemptively in third pick Gunner Tusk, who then will buy the Ags to boot away Nightfall, the primary carry in EG, away from the Medusa, allowing Constabile to actually take the fight. It's a well-rounded draft. It's beautiful. A well-rounded draft. It's beautiful. I think for EG though, this is the draft from them where they should be able to win their lanes at least and propel themselves into the game, and losing it is off of their own. Outfarmed us, we lost to a Medusa, right? So I think this is more of a statement of what EG is as a team now, basically.
Yeah, and Nouns are going to establish perhaps if they can game dominance or against a established roster like Evil Geniuses. So let's adverb this quickly to our casters, Purge and Moxie.
Man, that was a smooth.
Purge
My goodness.
and Moxie.
I'm still traumatized from using the wrong English terms. I'd really just like to move on from their team. I'm still trying to get a new sponsor.
Val's Purge and Nouns. But yeah, you know.
Can we call them Team Glasses? I love their flags actually. It's I don't know if they had their flags correct last time or not, but it's like a dangling glasses.
They did. They're sunglasses, I think. I think they're supposed to be sunglasses. Now they're real cool dudes on Nouns.
Are those eyeballs in them still?
No, I don't think they're eyeballs.
Part white, part black. Are you sure? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure that someone on Twitter will probably let us know. But I know T went through this whole someone on Twitter will
like, this is how it's gonna go down. There's gonna be the Razor. Razor's gonna latch onto the Medusa.
Someone's gonna kick her away. Blah blah blah. I mean, what are you thinking here when we see this draft coming out?
Your atrocity, mate.
I mean, that's definitely the most interesting thing is certainly Gunner playing mid Tusk. This is one of his specialty heroes that he likes playing. He plays it regularly. Getting the Ags is certainly very powerful, but is it going to work out? Is it going to work out if he gets doomed? Is another problem. I mean, and the other issue is that Nouns, their damage is very focused on basically Medusa. I guess Hoodwink outputs some decent damage as well, so they have some kill potential there. But I feel like an ultra late game fight, all the heroes on EG just look so freaking tanky, and they've got a Chen to back them up too, so that means even more armor and heals. So I don't know. I feel like in a later game fight, EG's gonna look really strong, and if they can't kill the Medusa, then Constabile should be able to turn things in Nouns' favor.
So I guess the question is, how do you ensure that, you know, EG stays behind here, right? Because that if you go toe to toe, if both teams are, you know, just following on track, yes, Medusa is going to become a problem late game, but then again, on the side of Evil Geniuses, they're going to get really tanky, and they don't quite have that damage coming out from Nouns. So how do they ensure that they get the upper hand here?
Shutting down Medusa is certainly one really good way. On the Noun side, they want to make sure that they just keep their network semi-comparable. That way, Medusa can be the frontliner to say, okay, you want to X-vote combo me? I don't care. I'm a Medusa. Obviously, Husky also can frontline a little bit. They kind of need to like
and they don't quite have that damage coming out from Nouns.
And basically allow themselves to survive against EG, so that they can eventually turn fights. That should be how they should play this game.
Are there specific itemizations that you want to see to ensure that, you know, they should play this game? There are specific itemizations that you want to see.
They should making sure to do this ability that they have,
ability.
doing great.
Gunner doing great though. 9-1. He's got his bottle on the way. Abed going instead for a bracer stack build instead, not too worrying as much about his spells here.
Makes sense, and it's fairly quiet though early on here. Not seeing too much of a kill potential coming out from either of these lanes just yet.
See if Gunner
can get the bottom water rune. That would be pretty nice actually. So
got snowball
here, so probably capable. It's gonna be kind of important. I don't know
they're racing. No, he can't get there in time. They were racing.
Yeah, the snowball. He should have ran a little bit earlier. That would have been really big for him.
Ooh, that was very close here. Top lane does have the salve though, but the pressure is definitely being applied from the side of EG.
Yeah, I do like
EG's lanes really. They look really good here for
Artesia at least.
For Artesia at least. It's kind of similar to last game. Just generally they get to be abusive, but with Chen it's even more so.
Lots of pressure to
zone out Hoodwink, who doesn't really want to trade with these Chen creeps, nor can she. And then Moo's gonna try to harass a little bit Wild Axes, but Bloodseeker, much like Chaos Knight, has really good sustain here.
We have a lot of Zoo going on here, right? Because you've got Moo, he's playing his Beastmaster. You've got, of course, a Chen online, and then you also have the Enchantress. So, seeing a lot of trading of creeps, and I'm sure heavy push strat coming out too.
That's exactly right.
And I think it looks a little better for EG in that sense because they've got a little bit better counter push. I guess they have like Wild Axes on Nouns and maybe like the Hoodwink spells. And I guess the Ice Shards can be okay, but it might be a little bit difficult for them to counter push anything that EG goes for later on. We'll see how the Chen and the Enchant matches up. Chen is seen as an inferior hero to Enchantress for the last bit of time, but Chen can work too.
I mean, the lockdown's a little bit light coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses, right? I mean, in both sides, you've got a little bit lighter of the lockdown. You've got the ultimate, obviously, with the Rupture coming out from Bloodseeker. Will be able to hold place. X is obviously a fantastic spell. And then eventually, you know, depending on the creep, that creep hits up, he can get the War Stomp. You can also get creeps that have lockdown on Chen, but...
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah, their lockdown is a little bit weak outside of X combo. That could definitely hurt them a little bit, especially against the survivable heroes.
Whereas on the Nouns side,
I think they're relatively happy. Gunner's gonna be great at disabling heroes. They've got Roar follow up. They could also land Hoodwink stuns with Bushwhack. So I think they're gonna be looking a little bit more safe. A lot of it's gonna come down to how fast does he get ags on Gunner, the Tusk, and can he find opportunities to just yoink some EG hero back into his teammate, or is it gonna be like he gets doomed, X comboed out of position, and they're able to kill him without Medusa responding. So these mid-game fights are going to be big. Assuming net worth is close, the laning stage is still very important here.
Or Coast to be the
head to buy a win late. Try to get away from Razor a little bit faster here.
That is indeed a problem that can occur when you're facing off with Razor. Good old race car Razor, as they used to call him.
He doesn't even have Storm Surge yet, but
yeah, still very important
that the Medusa doesn't lose her damage. That's going to be a big part of this game, really. How much damage do you lose from a static link as the fight develops?
She's just so slow. That's the one issue about a Medusa, right? It just takes way too long. Like, you know, a lot of times you'll even see her getting pinballed around in the fights with the Force Staff. And again, this is what you see happen. They're going to try to just slow down the Razor, break the link, turn it back around, steal a little bit of the damage, and they have the enchant, so they'll put out a little bit of harass over onto Nightfall. Husky does have to be careful though. He might, all right, Nightfall outplaying Husky here with that plasma field. It's gonna be the first blood.
It was right that they're pressuring Nightfall because he doesn't have any regen here, so getting him low meant that he would be zoned from the lane for a bit, but Husky just overestimating his survivability. He had some good heal going, but Razor just had a lot of damage stolen still, so when he finally turned, it was easy kill.
Husky's back in the lane though, and they did manage to go and, you know, like you said, apply the pressure. Try to make it so that way he feels a little bit less comfortable approaching the lane until he gets more of that regen. But I do have a rotation here in the mid lane. Coming out from Chen, but just going to push Gunner back just a little bit.
Hasn't been a super easy lane for Gunner because he's going to constantly get Tidebringer smashed. Oh wow. I did his full combo to get Arcane Ring.
He wanted that rune.
That was a little surprising. I mean, this is going to lead to a tower pressure. That part's pretty good.
Come on, you can see the rotation coming out here. The X marks spot over on the Husky. Chris also in position. That should be a dead Deer Lady. So there it is. And the pressure continues. Z-Break, he's trying his best to try to push them away, but There's only so much that a level 3 hoodwink can do right now.
Yeah, they need to kill the
They need to kill the catapult, but it still has one power hit left on it, so
They'll just tank this up
and it's gonna get low. Oh, never mind. They'll just stop tanking it for a brief moment. The catapult dies, but they might still be able to get it.
Can probably get Z-Freak here. Fly. Seeing the hoodwink, they're gonna get the X off, drag right back in, and they'll bonk on the head from crit. Make sure they get the kill.
It's really good for them.
It's really good for them. I mean, Tusk is okay at pulling creep waves back, but the issue here is he doesn't really have as many safe places to get last hits now.
Get the net thrown out over onto Abed. He's fairly tanky though again. Gunner is gonna go for that snowball. Just be careful. Fly is here. Another net thrown out. Crit making his way over. Hits over onto Gunner, and that's a dead Tusk. Some body blocks coming out. Poor Husky. He's just trapped in all these creeps, and a demon has a double kill now for Crit. And is it going to be a triple? Can they get over there fast enough? Now it looks like Z-Freak will be able to scurry away through the tree line, although he's going to walk right into Crit. Oh man, all right. This is looking like maybe he will get it. A little bit of burn, 25 hit points. Nah, Z-Freak with the salve does have a couple of those stick charges. It's gonna survive.
EG's just
owning these rotations they did on the mid lane, accomplishing the tower kill, and now they're going to rotate the pressuring safe lane. Medusa's not going to get a lot of time to get creeps here. Even has to ulti to get back to his tier 2.
Radiant's bottom tower is
really rough.
That's feeling a little bit spooky for Nouns.
So they're just
going to leave their safe lane now as EG continues to pressure. They're just getting so much more value out of this.
It's the rupture. They have the Axe in place. Torrent, everything that they need here for Gunner. He's not going to be able to get home. That's a kill for Arteezy.
Have fun trying to
maybe they got a little too cheeky expecting the mid Tusk to work. It's certainly something EG was prepped for. What are we going to do if he goes for Tusk? Well, Kunkka works great here. Abed just kind of bullied him in lane. Then they do the rotation with the 5-minute catapult. They get the mid tower, and that just opens the jungle, which not only undercuts what Gunner wants to do, but also undercuts what Medusa wants to do. So, unfortunately for them, maybe the Tusk works great in late game if their networks are similar, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case now. So, kind of really opens up Nouns' strategy in a big way.
I mean, that's what we were discussing earlier. Although, a little bit of, silver lining. They do manage to get the tower in the top lane. So that will open up the jungle a tiny bit here. But that's what we were saying earlier, though, about the draft is that, this draft coming out from Nouns, it needs to keep up that momentum and the pressure. If they start to fall behind, things start getting very scary because they do have the Medusa as the late game policy, but if the rest of the team is just paper, they're not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with EG in that later round.
And even if they are standing perfectly positioned and Medusa is the front line, she might still die.
And they know exactly where he is, so they've got the War Stomp, they've got everything they need. One more hit should be able to do the trick, and Crit is just on fire right now. Gunner, gonna try to force him out. Snowball, Walrus Punch. Couple more clicks with the shard. Just gonna hold in place, and whoop, the axe is coming in hot.
They needed that kill so badly. Finally getting for their first kill on the board. That's a mega kill streak for Crit, by the way. He's got 5 kills. 5 of the 7 kills have been his. He has been playing remarkably good. He even picks up the tome here. Chen's like, sorry, Chen, I want another point and devour or something.
Z-Freak
He'll be very farmed.
walking his pet squirrel over here, but Bushwhack will push him back. It feels like, it's just a total turn on the head here. EG playing very, very quickly. Z-Freak, oh dear, this is looking like a dead squirrel. Yep.
This will only hurt.
But the aggression is really amped up here on the side of EG. They played this very well.
Yeah, they really have.
been. It just feels like the Hoodwink hasn't been able to slow down what EG's been doing. He's more of like a disabler follow-up type hero. He hasn't hit 6 yet, not even close, of course. So even getting level advantages have been tough. So he's like scrambling to try to like slow this shit down, but it just doesn't feel like he's even close to being able to do so. Maybe they can fly at least.
They should be able to get fly. I say they should. All right, Bushwhack. All right, eventually.
This one feels bigger than most.
The disable fall.
The disable fall works.
Husky slowing down with the enchant. SVG though, they're nearby. We'll apply the break over to the Razor.
Right, so with us.
They're just a little hesitant here. How'd they get in here? That's going to take a little bit of time here, and the Shards does have Vote coming in. Going to be able to get that buff on himself, and they walk away so easily right now on the side of EG. Nouns, they're struggling. Nightfall is still here, does have that Tumbler's Toy, but hasn't quite managed to get off the side. As they'll follow up over onto him, he's already used the War Blood, right? Getting placed on the ground, though, plus the Stone Gaze. they'll turn their attention over to the Medusa, who is X'd up. And they're going to hold into place. Can they finish off Gonzalo? Yes, they can. Nightfall, he's still alive. Gunner, he's hoping. Maybe he can get the shards. Maybe he can get the vision. Maybe he can do anything. But he is, of course, doomed as Nightfall hops back down. Eye of the Storm. Plenty of damage. He'll turn the tables. And now Husky's just getting chased by Arteezy.
It made sense for them to cut right going for the Razor because he was separated from the rest of the squad, but they just didn't have enough single target damage. They'd already used Hoodwink ultimate earlier in the fight. If they used Roar, they are hit and slap it with Enchantress, but like they just don't have any damage output yet. And they committed to that fight, but all got wiped. So really bad place for the Nouns to be at right now. There's the replay clip. Like they threw their spells in, but they just genuinely don't have that much damage.
Yeah, I mean the Hand of God helped out quite a bit too, but
that's true.
Little extra heal definitely kept him alive, but
he should be dead. Like, look at Nightfall's like 60 HP here.
And if they actually
didn't doom Gunner there, Gunner actually does clean up that kill. So that was a great doom fight crit. He would have been able to soul ring and snowball after landing the ice shards. So definitely a really nice defense there. Continuing to overperform this game. He's already got a blink dagger, by the way, at 12 minutes from a 4-position doom. And he's got war stomp, of course. So yeah, he's looking really good.
I feel like we've seen some really good Doom play recently as well, I think. But in the other game with Kataomi was also just having really great positioning. It was just a really good Doom game on top of it because there were lots of heroes that were very susceptible to it. But it's been a good Doom day.
It has.
A lot of effective Doom force.
EG Smoke Swords
top lane looking for a potential pickoff of a carry or maybe an offlane hero. Nouns are still playing in this area, so see if they can prevent this from happening. But yeah, just both teams poking a little bit, looking for their opportunities.
I do feel like you've got to be a bit concerned when you look at Medusa's net worth right now comparatively to what's coming out from EG. It's not the end of the world, obviously. Medusa's one of those heroes with the split shot. She can farm very quickly, but it's not a position that I think Nouns really wants to be in as they immediately find themselves a Tusk over here in the corner. The snowball buying a little bit more time. We'll bump into Fly, but this is not looking good for Tusk, especially not with Ovid. Like, Ovid doesn't even pay attention. He's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go hit the tower.
He knew they had the kill. They puck lift at least, that does buy them a little time, but he's gonna mech these 10 creeps. He shouldn't have tanked this so long, actually. He does lose a few of them, but I think they'll be able to force the tower dying. Yep.
They're seeing the TPs though. They're gonna try to push them away. Perhaps. Axe getting tossed out by Moo. Bed does get stunned. Nightfall, though, waiting patiently. Still have Fly here. He's going to steal himself the boar. And he's going to get...
Boar back.
Yep.
There's a lot of
switching of creep hands, basically. Mudgolem gets stolen, then the boar gets stolen, then the boar gets stolen back. So he did lose his helmet of the Dominator creep doing that action, but it guarantees the fly kill. So they lose their... Oh, actually, the tier 2's alive. Hell yeah, great defense by Nouns then, because that looked really bad.
Yeah, they can't afford to be losing that tier 2 that's already losing a lot of the space for the Medusa to be able to farm. So if they lose the tier 2, she's just restricted straight up to that triangle, and that is not good for Nouns.
Yeah, but it's
still a big net worth disadvantage that they're playing at 8,000. Once again, Nightfall on the top of the net worth, of course, because he's just that kind of guy. Constantly winning his lane and transitioning so well.
And a perfect place
to counteract these skeletons, although he doesn't want to show. He's a little bit worried that the enemy squad will pop out and kill him if he does show on these.
I mean, these rally creeps are nowhere near as scary as they used to be when they first
That's true.
First came onto the scene, so he can afford to let them do a little bit of hits over on the tower, but Gunner needs to be careful. They are kind of circling like a shark right now. In fact, look at this crit. Keeps passing in the night, they find him. They'll doom him, they'll do everything, and Nightfall says, you know what, let me get a little bit of that damage before you go down, bro.
Yep. Not worth it to let him get away, so might as well pop the Doom. And now they're going to set up towards mid lane. They did see Doom TPing, so they're going to know that EG's trying to play in this area now. But the net worths continue for EG. They're very confident in their lead right now. They should clean up this tier 2 bottom now with that pickoff. I was trying to stop this from happening by pushing out that bot lane as safely as he could. And even though Husky does damage the tier 1 tower of his own, still EG has really good map control.
I feel like Razor's such a silly hero. Like, you look at his items right now, and he's just got a BKB treads and the Falcon Blade currently. Like, not a lot, but he's still doing quite a bit here.
Yeah, those are the items.
Yeah, those are the items that really just make the hero have tons of potential.
You get tanky.
You get tanky naturally by your strength gain in these few items, and then you just get BKB, and you don't really have to worry about too much. If it's physical damage, well, you just static link him, and you take that damage away, and he just gets to now frontline for his team. He's gonna probably transition straight into the refresher. That way he gets the double ulti, double BKB. They're just great position for EG to be in. Now they're going to invade, defend, or take over the enemy's pride camp. That way it's harder for Nouns to move across the map and get farm.
Okay, they're gonna make
gets ruptured.
Yeah. They'll force out the stone gaze.
Oh, we got him.
And the axe, they get up, they drag him right back in again. There's the boat crit is here. They've got plenty of damage. There is no way for this Medusa to escape now. She's gonna have to try to fight her way through, and they just do not have the damage, don't have the hit points. EG will happily take that kill.
Perfectly done. Abed gets there just in time with 4 points of X. He had the vision. I think he had a torrent for vision first, then landed the X, if I'm not mistaken, but pulls her back.
You can see the replay of it here.
Pops the ulti, TP's in the tree. Yep, torrent for vision, I think, and then maybe either way, catches her.
No torrent.
Nice grab. And in the live game, EG's taking Roach with that.
Yeah.
Now that Medusa's dead for another 14 seconds.
The Maelstrom proc that gave him the vision?
No,
Maelstrom does not get a vision. It could have been Blood Right, maybe tested Blood Right for vision too, but it's either that or Jorn, probably.
I just saw the one proc over there, and I was like, wait, that can't be it. But there we go. There's the Aegis. It's online for Arteezy. And the lead continues to grow here for Evil Geniuses.
And he's got BKB coming too on Bloodseeker, so only real thing he's got to worry about is Medusa ulti pretty much, but because her raw damage output is really not that extreme, I don't think EG's concerned at all the current game state. I'm going to pick off Z-Freak on the top lane. That's crit killing him with Doom. He's got a shard picked up as well, and a Philly Stone on Doom, so in case he didn't have enough gold.
It's definitely gonna be rolling in it soon. We have like perfect games so far here. Arteezy, no deaths on Abed, no deaths on Nightfall either. Only one death on Crit, and Crit is doing a fantastic job this game. Very impressive.
And Gunnar is close to his eggs, at least. He's about 900 gold away. But considering how the game started, where he was being outlaned, and then EG had a much superior 5-minute rotation with tower taking, it just really blew up a lot of what Nouns wanted to do. And then their supports were just running back and forth trying to stabilize things. They lose a couple fights, and EG is just so far ahead. And they're going to try to force a fight.
Again, they find themselves the Medusa, jump immediately, going to stun her. And there it is, there's the Stone Gaze. They'll still take a lot of this damage away from somebody, and they'll drag him right back in again with the X. He's just unstoppable. There's not much that they can do.
Abed just ran away. He's like, all right, I know you guys got this. All he did was like, all right, I just want to make sure that I offset her movement speed during her ulti, and that was more than enough. Goes back to farming mid lane. Just a little gank on the enemy carry. Who's their one core lineup.
Definitely worrying if you are Nouns. Because if you're Dusa, who's supposed to be, you know, this person that's supposed to be able to do, you know, this frontlining and whatnot, when the rest of your team is kind of falling behind, goes down that quickly, things are not feeling good.
The game's not looking good.
Okay, well, they do get a roll over onto Fly. I got the Wraith Pack going on top of everything else. Hand of God's gonna get used. This is still a dead Fly. But he doesn't go down without a fight. And Nightfall.
Tower could use a hand.
I mean, that's a great kill to find.
He didn't have too much threat of dying. He's got decent damage with Wild Axe's being maxed, so
and that Wraith Pack
damage. Don't forget about it.
Oh, Wraith Pack! I can't wait for it to be nerfed. I hope it gets nerfed. I don't like that item.
It just needs a couple baby nerfs. It's not that. Sometimes people choose not to buy it.
That's true. This is true.
Like in my opinion,
they overbuffed anything. It was probably Vlad's. Maybe they lowered the price of it by quite a bit.
It was kind of
everything, but they buffed it back up to the aura it was supposed to be at. They made the actual Wraith Pact a little better, and they made Vlad's cheaper. That was probably just maybe one or two too many buffs there.
Okay. But we do have the Agnum Scepter completed now for Gunnar, so I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to make anything happen with this, because I feel like this timing is not what he wanted at all. And the rest of the team is, you know, struggling to play catch-up.
Yeah, I mean,
basically what they're going to do, they're going to try to look for snowball kickbacks. And the targets that they're all looking at, they've all got BKB. So even if they do kick them back, their teammates are going to ideally roar immediately afterwards and then blow that guy up before he presses BKB.
All right.
Oh, he used Blink Aggressive.
He used Blink Aggressive. They could go for this.
Crit.
Oh, they didn't get the jump.
He's fast too.
And it wasn't Gunnar leading either.
Teasy opening up with the rupture. Blood right, and there's the snowball like we talked about, but BKB coming into play. As does roll forward. They'll kick Doom out. Get a nice pair of shards here.
Now they run.
And now yeah, that's exactly what they have to do. Moo's not looking like he's going to be able to do the run because he does get X. Use the roar already. Gonna get dragged back. Just take a little bath in this blood right. He's already silenced. And Arteezy just gonna run him down one by one. One more click. All right, there it is.
Well, they only lost one.
It's not the worst for the Nouns.
Could have been worse.
Considering the game state, could have been so much worse. They didn't use Doom though.
Arteezy
might die to neutrals. Really close. Okay, he survived.
It's very close.
Very close.
He's at like 60 HP there on those ancients. But he killed them first. He knew his limit. I don't know. They kicked away the Doom in that fight, which is the right move in the moment. Did they use BKBs? They didn't really even pop BKBs except for Arteezy's one. So I don't know. They didn't really get much out of that other than only losing one hero. Juice ulti on cooldown for 30 seconds. She has no item past Manta right now. She does have a Brigand's Blade. That's a decent way to get some damage out for little, but until she gets Scotty,
I just don't see how she controls or does much in team fights at all.
She's got one of the ultimate orbs now on the courier. Hopefully she can squirrel it away.
That'll be nice.
A little more mana.
For the twins.
It's something. Definitely needs something here. There's a refresher completed though for Razor, and that is very scary. It's a hero that a lot of times you just see the brown boots refresher sort of thing coming out sometimes with the BKB, so.
Well, they are able to use the Manta Illusions to clear the creep wave at least. They don't have to approach too far, but with the gem on the EG side, Abed's run around with it with his taunt and his BKB. He's not going to lose this anytime soon. So Nouns is basically in the position that EG was last game, where they are, well, this is more extreme for sure. EG is crushing this game, and Nouns is very far behind. But their high ground is quite good.
They can slow
things down with wild axes, with Medusa, with kickbacks.
All you gotta do is
yeet them into the fountain. The fountain can kill anybody.
That's a very optimistic way of putting that. My concern is that, you know, they have the Blink Dagger over on this Beastmaster, and they need to, you know, get these good initiations, but I'm concerned they don't have the damage.
Yeah, that part is also
another big issue. That's definitely true.
Like the fountain, yeah, the fountain, yes. Okay, maybe they do need to take that outpost, though. I feel like they're just going to teleport on in. Unless they can burst down crit fast enough. All right, go for the war, but like I said, you can see already, they're starting to teleport in. Do they still go in for this, though, is the question. Yeah, Abed, he's joining. Got the X over onto Moo. He's got a boat. He's got Nightfall joining in. He's got his BKB. He's putting out plenty of damage. He's stabbing plenty of damage, too. And,
come on, Spice.
Now it's looking like Husky has been left all by himself, and there's a big bad Bloodseeker over here. He's waiting patiently, knows that he's going to get dragged right back. They get the stomp, and a dead Husky into his arms.
They didn't quite escape as fast as they maybe needed to. I think the issue was that before he got killed, Crit actually did place a ward there. So I think the Nouns thought that they were safe to play in that area. They didn't quite escape as fast as they should have, and then they get caught in a couple of punishes. Getting the kill was still fine ultimately, and gold is actually even despite them losing 2 heroes to 1. But that's just because they're so far behind. The game's like, please God, give Nouns a chance to win this game.
Well, they're hanging in there again. 19k net worth lead at almost 26 minutes in. It's still very, very difficult. This Medusa is moving up, though, in terms of the net worth. The rest of the team, though, still looking a little sad there on the side of Nouns.
It is looking rough for sure. I mean, At least she's almost got Scotty, about 100 gold away from that. So she pushes up the off lane there. Doesn't quite finish it before she TPs away, but Scotty's going to help a huge amount. It's very, very good against Razor. He's a ranged hero. It's going to lower his attack speed and his movement speed by a lot. It's okay against Bloodseeker, limits some of his heal when he does succeed in getting kills, but...
Does this end up being a rapier game?
I mean, we're close to rapier territory without a doubt. Yeah, the game is her damage is very low right now, so this is one good way to actually get her damage up to a point where she could be competitive.
These wards are giving them so much information. Like they watch Moongunner just cross right over there, waiting for them.
And it's really tough to even look for these kills because all these Chen creeps are gonna be a nice buffer between their opponents. So they'll spot out Gunner trying to make these moves, and until he gets Blink Dagger, it's just so hard for Nouns to utilize the Tusk Axe because they're just not even close enough in network.
You have the Scotty completed though, like we said. EG standing around this pit, want to control the triangle area. Shards will block him out for a little bit.
Separating them is one option if they can get it, but they're just playing around cliff stuff right now.
The bane of RTZ general.
Yes. And the ward vision that it provides is just too good. Now Crit's got a BKB of his own. If he gets gone on again, he should be able to protect himself a bit.
Looks like EG. They are grouping up a bit more. You can see RTZ rejoining up with the rest of the team. Is separating a little bit, so perhaps they can find the advantage. They go for a smoke. There's a double damage. I wonder if they're going to see it. Yeah, they'll see it. That'll definitely help Subtly here.
It's going to be a good time to fight.
Gets jumped on by Crit. There it is. There's the Doom. But they have the double damage, and they've got the worst. So Subtly's doing a decent amount this time. Be able to take down Crit. Continue over onto Nightfall. Subtly, though. Oh, there it is. There's that refresher there. Just handling this Medusa. Unfortunately, not going to be able to survive here. Husky not looking too great either. As Moo is running, trying to just find some space, try to get out, try to teleport, but it can't. He gets bashed, and he will fall.
And Gunner walks away from his team like, hey, I'm alive, guys. But that's the problem right now. If he gets doomed in these fights, it's just Medusa. And yeah, sure, he kills Crit, lands a nice ultimate on him, and that limits Razor jumping in. But once that's over, she's like, oh shit, they're gonna go on me. I don't have BKB. I can't TP. Now the damage comes.
And the pressure is on. They've got themselves an Ancient Dragon, and they're just cutting through these towers. Lincoln's completed for RTZ. It's going to be even harder to lock this guy down.
Top tower's in bad shape.
Very farmed.
And they're thinking about the Roche. The ping coming out.
Utter map control here. Not too many cooldowns burned on the Nouns side, so I guess they could jump and fight if they want to. And that's probably why EG is sitting where they are right now. They want to fight around the ward.
They smoke up out of the base. There's an arcane rune outside of the Roche pit gunner. Smoke will break pretty quickly. Here's Husky. He's going to throw his body forward. Immediately coming out Hex, though. That's brand new, shiny off of Abed. Good ward, though, coming out from it. We'll buy a bit more time. The X coming into play, but they have the snowball. They're going to roll right back in. The kick back over onto Crit. They should be able to do enough damage over here on the side, so they'll be able to take down Crit. Gunner still, no, they'll be able to find the final hit, and now they're just chasing after this Medusa. Except he's trying to get out of here. They popped the BKB. BKB is completed, though. It's already out of time. Over onto RTZ. They're going to try to fight a little bit longer, but Lincoln's coming to play. No, they cannot do it. RTZ finding the kill on Stubbly and finding kill on Husky. Moo looks like he is next on the hit list. It's a triple kill for RTZ, and that is going to open up this base real nice like for the side of Evil Geniuses.
They absolutely read Nouns' movement there. They didn't start a roast. They said, nah, we're just going to sit on this high ground. We're going to break things at Hex. Great pickup from Abed. The moment he saw Gunner, he hexed him. No shenanigans with the kickback there. Just started the fight on a great place for Nouns and allowed them to use their net worth advantage to end that fight. Frankly, I'm a little surprised they haven't GG'd yet after how that last fight went. But it's only going to be 2 racks.
Their cooldowns are pretty low here in terms of death timers. At the very least, you know, the one shining silver lining here is that they are right back up again, so. But they're about to lose Husky again.
I'll just sharpen my spear.
Buyback coming up for Husky. The rest of the team, they're going to try to punish RTZ as I do have that roar. So they'll find the kill. It's a godlike 10-time streak. Nightfall popping the BKB. We'll use the snowball to kick back over onto Abed. Can they do enough damage? That's the question. It's Now Nightfall, he's just latched onto this Medusa. BKB, another buyback coming out from Z-Freak as Gunner. He's being chased down. He needs to get away faster as they'll get the pushback over on the side, but they're still going to end up losing Gunner. He has no buyback. Break being applied. Crit jumping forward. Sees himself this Medusa. They try to force that forward, but they have the Doom. This is looking very, very bad for the Nouns. They're about to lose their Medusa. The one person who kind of forces them out of the base, and down she will fall. As on the back lines, cleaning up on Husky, and a nice stop. The GG finally gets called. Nouns, they tried to be a little too cheeky, I think, this time around, and Evil Geniuses will strike back with a fury.
I gotta say, maybe
Ovid played incredibly good towards the end there. X marks on the kickback target. That was our TZ one of the times. The Hex was so instrumental in a lot of crucial moments there. But man, the early game was just absolutely destroyed by Crit as well. Like Crit and Ovid, it felt like completely opened up this game
to make it completely one-sided against Noun. And Nouns, and they just didn't even get to play their game.
Fires. Was that good? Did you like that, Pico? Yeah.
Of course.
Take the edge off. What's over there?
Мапер поднимем. Не воруй, у тебя тогда испол. Тара попробуй запомнить. Вампир возвращается. He's coming back. Need to be careful. А, он уже тут, уже тут.
With pleasure.
Я лифт проебал.
Over there.
Он без этого, без сапога на вайпере. Есть танго тебе?
Мажем.
With pleasure.
Ой. Тут где-то вижен у них. Может даже тут. Apparently we have win ward. But we are so strong, we can defend. Yeah, I'm coming.
I understand. 고맙기도 하지. Yes. Interesting.
Freak played an excellent Mirana in game 1. Like, the follow-up arrow on Dragon Tail is always going to be a really good combo. And you're also now dealing with arrow in your arsenal versus Enchantress. And Enchantress isn't like the way Chen was in that game too. Chen felt like all over the place as an army. Now Enchantress just has the one creep, and Mirana does a really great job at getting rid of it. So.
This is a really interesting point in the draft because EG with this Razor pick opening second phase, they're flexing it between offlane and carry because of course it's played in both lanes. And then now Nouns go like, okay, we have to put kind of Enigma in the offlane role because even against a Razor carry, you keep the lane in such a good position, you'd never really get attacked. You then double pick support. So EG just kind of forced Nouns into this kind of a drafting weak spot by revealing everything. Like you know exactly what's happening with their lineup now. It's the carry and last pick. It's pretty cool.
And Crystal Maiden comes out again today. She saw so much playtime today, and more than the entirety of the last two tours in one day.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah.
What a timeline!
It's not great if you were hoping this hero would get buffed in the next patch, because now that it's trending so heavily, well, I guess there's only 24 hours before the next patch. I'm sure the changelogs have been already set in stone, surely.
No. Tsunami, they're, you know, the frogs. He's watching or whatnot, you know, and he's gonna throw in a cheeky little -5 move speed to CM just because it's how dare she get even a day of play. Yeah. She's getting enough.
5 seconds
Oh
remaining.
no, poor Maiden.
You know, jokes aside though, for Nouns, I'm a little bit worried in the fact that sure, with Mirana and CM, you can at least counter Ench in whatever lane she goes to, be it the Mirana, the arrow in one lane, the Frostbite and CM the other. The creep won't do much, but the value of early BKBs on EG has gone up tenfold. The CM, the Mirana, the DK, these heroes, unless you start with DK stun into layered damage after, they are going to struggle against the speed in which EG will itemize for BKBs with these heroes that they have.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up because in that game too, the forward BKBs on the side of EG just came out so early, and Nouns had no counterplay, and they were less dependent even then. on their spells than they are in this game.
Are we still looking at another crit Doom, given the way that this Evil Genius's lineup is shaken out, or is there still some maybe Monkey King mid and Razor carry type thing, or
It's
other way
all up
around?
in the air, honestly, mate.
Okay.
It's like this Monkey could easily be 4 or carry. The Razor could easily be carry offlane. The Doom could once again be 4 or offlane, right? They've kind of kept these 3 heroes a little bit ambiguous when, in reality, I would assume that it is going to be, Monkey carry, Razor offlane, Doom 4. That's kind of where I'd quickly guess, but
Why the...
no matter what they set up, I feel like it's still very powerful. They have all the clear for Eidolons, be it the Razor Q or the Monkey King Primal Spring.
Oh, okay.
They're happy.
So these are, so my question was going to be, Effie, why the Monkey King pick? And you think it's just now, not only do they have role flexibility with these heroes, but also everyone can deal with Eidolons?
Of course, and also you just have another cancel for Enigma's Black Hole
true.
with the Boundless Strike.
Yeah.
And if it is a support, it can just scout out these like Enigma jumps wherever he is, right? It's important to have the vision when you're playing versus these big teamfight heroes. And even if it's not a support, it just excels in the core role in this game, so it fits the bill really nicely.
Well, Nouns are expecting a little bit of offlane or mid, because they take out the Mars and they take out the Kunkka. And Evil Geniuses know that Nouns need to find some hero for Kostabli, so they take out the Wraith King.
It sounds unusual, and I don't think EG would do it, but I wouldn't mind seeing a mid-Doom in this game either.
Ooh.
Why?
That's true.
Why do you
No,
think that's a good
Because
idea?
like this early Blink BKB, let's say Shiva's Guard Doom
okay.
can just do so much there. He's not under threat by any of the heroes on the side of Nouns.
I like that a lot. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Not often would you say mid Doom looks good, but yeah, into the DK. I'd maybe argue the weakness is simply protecting the tower. You kind of rely on your pos 4 and 5 to come help out Doom at that point of the game. But overall, yeah, I'd be down for it.
But it's not going to happen. We all know that
Yeah, that's a spirit hero, right?
if it's not one
Mars is
of
banned out.
5 heroes.
Oh, okay. So they
Alright.
Nouns had picked this a lot during the Pro Series, and they flexed it extremely often, but it was totally absent from this series, and now they finally go back to it.
It's a really weird hero where if you don't have a clean way to enter the mid game in terms of fighting, you kind of fall back to ratting quite hard, and then you enable just lanes being pushed out and your eventual team fight to carry you. And they pick an underlord at the end, so I think Effie was right with the mid Doom.
Radiant's banned.
No
find
mid
out.
Razor.
Mid Razor.
4 team. A real
How
shame.
about their
That
flex
would have
on
been cool.
DK?
That
Is
would have been
it
very
always
cool,
going to be
but
Gutter
I
Zero
see
because they
why
first phase
they
it?
did it. But this
Yeah,
Underlord
I honestly
pick
hope so.
just...
I think after that
I mean,
game
it's
one
a great hero. First of all,
performance,
the pit
he opened up the fight.
super
Probably
value
should be just
versus
a carry,
Mirana
the
versus Enigma,
the mid lane, sorry.
DK, and even the Nature's Prophet, but also
you know,
Q
if you
lane
just
as well
mentioned the
versus this
idea
MP,
of
which is going to be really important. You just
initiation
need a
opening up
means to
fights, DK
clear
is one of
those
the best
streams, and
heroes for
Underlord has
enabling
this.
Enigma
And
just
of course,
because
you can't
you
forget
so
the
quickly
value of
get to
having
blink DK
the
and
Underlord
act
ult
very
on your
tanky.
team. It's probably
You
the
give so much
highest
innate
value
vision
ultimate in the
from just
game right now.
positioning alone.
It supports
It's
you
hard
and
for
your
Enigma
entire
not to
team
hit
whenever you
Black
feel like
Hole,
it. You can
not to
reset
find two
defense and you
heroes
can go
and open
push
up
a
the fight for your
lane.
team.
The sky's the limit.
able to soak up damage, right? Like let's say
I'd agree. I think my concern for the Nouns is simply that the Fury, you need to have good lane into then propelling your team with every item, and you need to feel like you're getting killed for every item you buy. And I'm just worried that you're not going to have a good lane against Underlord, and each item you find won't feel good because BKBs will be out by the time EG, you know, that timing
On the
mirrors, right?
topic
So
of
I'm skeptical that Nouns will be able to execute this one, but who knows? I'm always down for a Fury in game to rat their way to
obviously in
victory.
all of Dota, but
But you're
especially
also just
today.
countered
Why
by
is
Razor
Motherfucker
as
not
a
been
Yeah,
trending
Hyperion
as
here, so
heavily as
you don't
I
even
expected
have
after
like
the
a good
Measure? I feel like
matchup.
It's
Similar
hard.
to Enigma,
This game
it
is
was kind
very
of
hard for
given
Nouns.
a
I'll be
light
very
shine on
impressed
it,
if they win,
which I
honestly.
guess Nightsucker wouldn't really
And
like,
Monkey
but
King,
it
countered
was
by Monkey.
seemingly popular,
Yeah.
and I
I'll
haven't
be
really
very
seen it
impressed if
throughout
Nouns
the
win this
Western
game.
European
They
knew what they were
Honestly.
getting themselves into, though. This is the
Again, it's a
last
hero
big Nature's
that
Prophet,
you
and
have
so
to
it's
play
not like
that
anything should be
understands the
taking them by
hero,
surprise. But
timings.
we'll all be very
He's
impressed if
probably gonna
Nouns
be
take
taking
this
it quite
game,
a
because
lot.
then they
You
will
know,
take the
something like
series, and that will
TSM,
once again
he understands the hero, he wants
have
to play it.
massive
He has played it a couple
implications,
times, but
surely, for the
it
rest
is
of
a
the
hero that
season.
you
But
need.
let's see if they can
Always
execute.
nighttime, right? That's the perfect Night Stalker player. But every time they pop that ultimate, when it is nighttime, they're finding plays, posturing, and it's just
Dyer's
the
banned.
rhythm that you find. And I think it's hard for some players to want to do that when you have the opportunity to play the Enigmas, the Beastmasters, the
Or in Moo's
the
case, the
Underlords. The heroes that kind of
Timbersaws.
like do everything the entire time, right?
No.
But also, it's not first phase material the way that Enigma is, and a lot of the heroes that become popularized are popularized because of their ability to come out so early in the draft. And Night Stalker you can't really do that with. I mean, I guess you can get a little bit quirky and first phase him in an odd game or two, but you can't really follow that recipe and win games.
It's like EG right now with this Ench Doom opening. This is the type of opening that, obviously maybe not the Doom, but this style of you flex a core with Ench and then suddenly you go Night Stalker later down the line. It's like, oh, surprise, we've now put the Doom on 4, etc., etc. But I wouldn't really want to see a Doom Night Stalker lane. So that kind of concept doesn't work out. But a second pick team that can allow themselves to flex into the Night Stalker later on, that for sure is what would probably give Night Stalker more merit within the draft at least.
That's so. Meanwhile, they target out a little bit of everything on Evil Geniuses. They take out the Coddle, they take out the Pango, and Nouns remove Viper, Bloodseeker, and Batrider from the pools.
Dyer's
Again, every time we see... Oh, go on, Effie.
No, go on Teacup.
Thank you, I'll keep it quick. I'll say every time we see these teams with like Ench and stuff, they need to ban out tempo setting heroes. I'll keep it quick. And the lack of lockdown because of the enchantment. So these tempo heroes, Bots Vessel running around, Pangli running Thunder, the lack of lockdown BC because of the enchantment degree. So these heroes in the game running around, Pangli helping maintain the lack of lockdown of BC because of the enchantment degree. So these heroes in the game running around, Pangli helping maintain the lack of lockdown of BC because of the enchantment degree.
The Razor that played incredibly well in that game too. It just seemed like, I mean, this hero is an EG hero, right? It's not only Nightfall plays it, but also RTZ. And just in terms of matchups so far, like Razor excels in just running in and fighting DK, right? You static link him, you just chase him off the fight, and it's not the best hero versus Enigma in particular if it gets black hold, but it's good at clearing Eidolons. It's got an AoE nuke, so it's one of the better heroes. Like, you slow them, you nuke them, you can chase them down a little bit on lane. So yeah, one of the better heroes in lane versus Enigma too.
Radiant's pick.
Mirana. I was going to see if we got 2 snap picks there. Oh, this is an indicator that most likely Enigma 3 now, Mirana 4, and potentially picking up another support.
Looks like another gunner mid DK. I mean, it works. Z-Freak played an excellent Mirana in game 1. Like, the follow-up arrow on Dragon Tail is always going to be a really good combo. And you're also now dealing with arrow in your arsenal versus Enchantress. And Enchantress isn't like the way Chen was in that game too. Chen felt like all over the place as an army. Now Enchantress just has the one creep, and Mirana does a really great job at getting rid of it. So.
Dyer's pick.
This is a really interesting point in the draft because EG with this Razor pick opening second phase, they're flexing it between offlane and carry because of course it's played in both lanes. And then now Nouns go like, okay, we have to put kind of Enigma in the offlane role because even against a Razor carry, you keep the lane in such a good position, you never really get attacked. You then double pick support. So EG just kind of forced Nouns into this kind of a drafting weak spot by revealing everything. Like you know exactly what's happening with their lineup now. It's the carry and last pick. It's pretty cool.
And Crystal Maiden comes out again today. She saw so much playtime today, and more than the entirety of the last 2 tours in one day.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah.
What a timeline!
It's not great if you were hoping this hero would get buffed in the next patch, because now that it's trending so heavily, well, I guess there's only 24 hours before the next patch. I'm sure the change logs have been already set in stone, surely.
No. Tsunami, they're, the frogs, he's watching or whatnot, and he's gonna throw in a cheeky little -5 move speed to see him just because it's how dare she get even a day of play. Yeah. She's getting a nerf.
Seconds.
Oh no, poor Maiden.
Jokes aside though, for Nouns, I'm a little bit worried in the fact that sure, with Mirana and CM, you can at least counter Ench in whatever lane she goes to, be it the Mirana or the arrow in one lane, the Frostbite and CM the other. The creep won't do much, but the value of early BKBs on EG has gone up tenfold. The CM, the Mirana, the DK, these heroes, unless you start with DK stun into layered damage after, they are going to struggle against the speed in which EG will itemize for BKBs with these heroes that they have.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up because in that game too, the forward BKBs on the side of EG just came out so early, and Nouns had no counterplay, and they were less dependent even then on their spells than they are in this game.
Are we still looking at another crit Doom, given the way that this Evil Geniuses lineup is shaken out, or is there still some maybe Monkey King mid and Razor carry type thing, or
It's
other way
all up in
around?
the air, honestly, mate.
Okay.
It's like this Monkey could easily be 4 or carry. The Razor could easily be carry offlane. The Doom could once again be 4 or offlane, right? Like, they've kind of kept these 3 heroes a little bit ambiguous, when in reality, I would assume that it is going to be, you know, Monkey carry, Razor offlane, Doom 4. That's kind of where I'd quickly guess, but
Why the?
no matter what they set up, I feel like it's still very powerful. They have all the clear for Eidolons, be it the Razor Q or the Monkey King Primal Spring.
Oh, okay.
They're happy.
So these are. So my question was going to be, Effie, why the Monkey King pick? And you think it's just now not only do they have role flexibility with these heroes, but also everyone can deal with Eidolons?
Of course, and also you just have another cancel for Enigma's Black Hole
true.
with the Boundless Strike.
Yeah.
And if it
10
is a support,
seconds
it
to
can
go.
just scout out these like Enigma jumps wherever he is, right? It's important to have the vision
5 seconds.
when you're playing versus these big teamfight heroes. And even if it's not a support, it just excels in the core role in this game. So it fits the bill really nicely.
Well, Nouns are expecting a little bit of offlane or mid, because they take out the Mars and they take out the Kunkka. And Evil Geniuses know that Nouns need to find some hero for Costabile, so they take out the Wraith King.
It sounds unusual, and I don't think EG would do it, but I wouldn't mind seeing a mid Doom this game either.
Ooh.
Why?
That's true.
Why do you
No,
think that's a good
Because
idea?
like this early Blink BKB, let's say Shiva's
Oh,
Guard Doom
okay.
can just do so much there. He's not under threat by any of the heroes on the side of Nouns.
I like that a lot. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Not often would you say mid Doom looks good, but yeah, into the DK. I'd maybe argue the weakness is
10
simply
seconds to
protecting the tower. You kind of rely on your pods 4 and 5
5
to come help
seconds.
out Doom at that point of the game. But overall, yeah, I'd be down for it.
But it's not going to happen. We all know that
Yeah, it's a spirit hero, right?
if it's not
Kunkka
one of
Mars is banned out.
5 heroes,
Oh, okay. So they
Alright.
Nouns had picked this a lot during the Pro Series, and they flexed it extremely often, but it was totally absent from this series, and now they finally go back to it.
It's a really weird hero where if you don't have a clean way to enter the
10
mid game
seconds
in
to
terms of
go.
fighting, you kind of fall back to ratting quite hard, and then you enable just lanes being pushed out and your eventual team fight to carry you. And they pick an Underlord at the end, so I think Effie was right with the mid Doom.
Let's
No,
find
mid
out.
Razor.
Mid-Razor.
Offlane, 4 Doom. A real shame. That would have been cool.
that would have been
Wait.
very cool, but I see why they
Yeah.
did it. But this
Yeah.
Underlord pick just, I mean, it's a great hero. First of all, the pit super value versus Mirana versus Enigma, DK, CM, and even the Nature's Prophet, but also he lanes well versus this NP, which is going to be really important. You just need a means to clear those streams, and Underlord has those. And of course, you can't forget the value of having the Underlord ult on your team. It's probably the highest value ultimate in the game right now. It supports you and your entire team whenever you feel like it. You
10
can reset
seconds
to
to
fountain,
go.
you can go push a lane, you know, the sky's the limit with Sky.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think my concern for the Nouns is simply that the Fury, you need to have good lane into then propelling your team with every item, and you need to feel like you're getting killed with every item you buy. And I'm just worried that you're not going to have a good lane against Underlord, and each item you find won't feel good because BKBs will be out by the time EG, you know, that timing mirrors, right? So I'm skeptical that Nouns will be able to execute this one, but who knows? I'm always down for a Fury in game to rat their way to victory.
But you're also just countered by Razor as a
Yeah, I
carry
know.
on here, so you don't even have like a good matchup for Dakora.
It's hard. This game is very hard for Nouns. I'll be very impressed if they win, honestly.
And Monkey King, you're countered by Monkey.
Yeah. I
I'll be
mean,
very impressed if Nouns win this game.
they knew what they were getting themselves into, though. This is a last pick Nature's Prophet, and so it's not like anything should be taking them by surprise. But we'll all be very impressed if Nouns takes this game, because then they will take the series, and that will once again have massive implications, surely, for the rest of the season. But let's see if they can execute on this final game 3 with Purge and Moxie.
I don't know, Purge, will you be surprised if Nouns takes this game? Because it sounds like our panel is very much going to be surprised.
I mean, they're right. There are a lot of counters to heroes, to the Nature's Prophet. Lots of ways to get on top of him and kill So that's pretty spooky for sure. And past that, yeah, there's still really strong team fight stuff coming out of EG's side. They still have Doom that they can use effectively against the right cores, locking down and preventing either Black Hole from coming out or to give them the ability to easily kill Dragonite. I don't know, the Doom just feels like the hero of the series without the doubt. Chris been playing it extremely well. It feels impactful basically every game. So I don't know. It feels hard to me for Nouns for sure. EG's got good stuff going for him.
So what do you think is the plan? Because, you know, again, it's a last pick Nature's Prophet. They understand what's already placed on the board. What do you think their idea is here? How do you think that they're going to try to outplay them?
Well, they did need tower hitters. Their push is okay, but not incredible at the moment between Dragonite and Enigma. So adding Prophet on top of that could really up the tempo a lot. I mean, it was the style that we saw Bet Boom do heavily at the major. Safely Nature's Prophet, then all of a sudden you get one gank somewhere, and that tower dies. And that's something they can really facilitate with the heroes. Remember how fast they're playing when they had CM in the earlier game? It's very similar draft, right? Dragonite, CM, Mirana. Well, these three heroes should be able to make a kill happen. And then if you bring Prophet onto that and you take a mid tower afterwards, that's going to open up the map heavily and make it a lot easier for you to move back and forth and get more of those kills with Mirana. So I think it's something like that. Yeah, maybe the core matchups aren't very good, but it should allow Nouns to get ahead in network.
Looks like Husky's going to bait a little bit over here. It's going to get chased away, but
Where are you going?
nice triple hit there with the Chris Nova, but again, this is looking like the first sacrifice here to EG, and Ovid's gonna start off pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he let them get a little too close to him, unfortunately, but maybe he was not watching. The little courier can be confusing here. Gunnar is trying to set up a little bit of an arrow here. See if he can get it. At this point, maybe not worth it. Is Gunnar going to stay up here? Okay, so Gunnar's actually side laning. They're going to put Moo mid on the Enigma to counteract having to lane against Razor. Because if you have to play a DK versus a Razor, you're going to have a bad time. He's going to sap your damage, and yeah, maybe your regen, and maybe you can stun, but you're not getting as many last hits or denies. So, the same vein though, Dragonite against Monkey King isn't going to be great either. That's a melee hero versus a Monkey King. So, I don't know, maybe a bit of a pivot here, but it doesn't look the most amazing.
They're shaking things up a little bit, and sometimes that's just what you need to do, because Evil Geniuses does feel like they've got a little bit of a run back. Obviously, they had the Chen instead of the Enchantress in the last game, but a very similar style hero being able to, you know, have those summons and do the healing and whatnot. And then, of course, we talked about Crit and the Razor this time in the mid lane. Not going to be Nightfall playing it this time around, but also very potent.
Yeah, very, very solid hero matchup there. And Mirana's okay against Enchantress anyways. I mean, you can arrow her creep, for example, so there's some counters there. If her creep seems too strong or anything like that, but they got a little pull connect off here to get some experience away from Arteezy in the meantime, which is solid for them. And in the mid lane, Moo's doing a great job harassing Abed. Every time I look over, Abed's sitting at about 20% HP just because he's fighting with Eidolons all the time. And their net worth is still comparable too, so it doesn't seem like he's giving up too many of them.
Definitely not one of these matchups that you ever expect to see in this mid lane area, but an interesting creative one to be sure.
Yeah, he's going to try to take the water rune, but Abed will plan ahead here and deal with it, so that'll get Moo access to even more mana regen if he wants it. But so far, 10 denies on the Enigma, and that's not all demonic conversions, so pretty solid so far, and one of the first times we've seen Abed get behind in laning stage.
Does seem pretty good.
It's the power of Enigma, though. It's one of the reasons that he's being first phase banned here.
I'd be interested to see what's going to end up happening over the course of the next day, right? Because we are going to have that patch come out and just see, you know, are we going to see anything that's very massive, or is it just going to be like little tiny things?
Yeah, the part made me pretty depressed actually when they were talking about it on panel about the CMs. Like, oh, CM's getting picked all of a sudden, and it's like, but wait, is there going to be a nerf almost immediately afterwards?
No, please, no.
Hopefully not. It's too soon. It's too soon. Maybe just don't even buffer.
Just leave her alone, honestly.
Arguing.
Yeah, just leave her alone.
Don't change her. Just been waiting so long for this.
I mean, there was a time where CM was picked every single game, though. Don't forget. Like, there are these seasons to particular heroes where
couriers are goner.
It's true. It's just been a long time since that happened, so I just don't. I'm still in my begging portion of my argument here.
Right. The stages of grief. You know, bargaining. You're in the bargaining portion of it.
Yeah, please. Oh, come on, Ice Frog. She doesn't deserve it. She had
so
one good
slow.
week. She didn't even win all of her games.
That's true. They keep going back to that on the panel, saying that, you know, Crystal Maiden, you know, she didn't. What was it, the PSG LTD game when they picked her? You know, they keep going back to that. But also, Brain picked her. I believe they won that game. You know, don't count them out. But I don't want to argue for them to like nerf this hero. So
yeah.
Never mind, forget it.
She's decent. She's not amazing, maybe, but I like playing her at least. A little stack pull going on here for Crystal Maiden on the Nouns side, so their lane must be going good if they're able to keep Nightfall away from that. But he's been kind of solo for a bit here, Crit moving along the map, and Nightfall still has more experience than Costabile does too, so he's pretty happy with what his position is at, it seems like.
Fairly close together on terms of the CS at the very least, but yeah, I mean, there's not much that they can really do to an Underlord at this time, especially when you consider, you know, it is a Crystal Maiden. You have a couple things that you could possibly kind of mess around with, but fairly tanky.
They're giving him Ice Armor too. Crit stole that one, slaps it on Underlord, and he has a double bracer, so his damage is about 100. That means if he can sit in the lane against Costabile, he's going to just out-deny him, and that's what's happening actually. 24-10 versus the 16-5, 17-5 now for Nature's Prophet. So this is why they have a slight level advantage. A little bit easier for Costabile here to get denied.
A bit of a slower game. Do you see some rotations over to the mid lane? Is one of the downsides of an Enigma is the fact that he doesn't have any like good ways of being able to escape. Skeet is going to put a little harass, but yeah, that is definitely.
His skill build's kind of weird too. Got 3 points of Malefice, really worried about defending himself, I think, or potentially getting kills. So less damage from the Eidolon, longer cooldown, but at least he can maybe stay alive when he does get dove.
They're starting to put that pressure down. They have the Cardi over here. They'll use the enchant. Should be able to take down the creep. We do have 3 heroes coming out from both sides, hanging out in the mid lane.
In the last game. And importantly, the arrow got blocked. I didn't see what blocked it, but it's on cooldown. He wasn't able to kill the catapult here. Oh man, they're gonna kill with the mono conversion. Really nicely done. All right, so we compare what just happened with last game, vastly different, right? Last game it was like they get dove, they die, tower gets killed at like 6.5 minutes. Instead, they dealt with this. The tower still is almost entirely full HP, and Mu goes back to getting last hits. So didn't even skill black hole here. He just knows what I'm doing is laning. I'm trying to limit Abed's gold. I'm not gonna cast black hole anytime soon. I'm here just to do damage and do well in my lane. And now the push comes the other way. Nouns is now pressuring the EG tower.
Yeah, and they don't have those other heroes close by right now to help Abed out, so they get a decent amount of damage. Again, they do have the Cardi. And they're gonna try to clean up some of this creep wave, continue to put the pressure, try to alleviate some of the pressure as well over for Costabile.
Gunner chasing Arteezy away from the lane right now. He's got a small level advantage here. He's doing great, 32 and 6. King's 36 and 8, so things seems fine actually for Nouns right now. In the safe lane though, Costabile getting dove a little bit.
Yeah, he is, and they've got themselves one of those tomatoes. He's cut through over here. They don't have a way to cancel out the TP, so he barely makes it out.
That was so close, holy crap.
Courier took a trip to the old
Zephyr gonna pull the creep wave away from the tower because he's like, I don't want anything to do with this. Keep this away from the tower.
Can you blame him? That was pretty spooky down there.
I don't know what he's going to take with this massive creep wave, but all right. And then Mu continues pressuring the mid lane too. They're doing a good job.
He's bringing it over to Husky and Mu, you know. Stabile making his way over, using that. Nice setup for the arrow, and they'll punish Crit here with a good teleport, and perhaps put some more pressure over on this mid tower, because they have definitely been applying it.
This is the new mid lane. Or is this the safe lane? I'm not sure. A lot of Eidolons and trees and
uh-oh, indeed, yeah. No, but he's not gonna chase. He's gonna respect it. Give quite a few of those Eidolons. They do a decent amount of damage.
They did. That was like one volley of damage and lost like 15% of his HP. No wonder he didn't chase. That would have been really scary if he got hit a couple times. So plays it safe instead. But Observer Ward gets killed, at least Crit will get that payback with his death. And in the meantime, EG still successfully killing towers. Nightfall was able to take the enemy safe lane. So I'm just going to press Flywheel. Wow, Nightfall's on top. Who could have expected this?
I mean, he's definitely had a very comfortable laning phase yet again. Like you said, you know, he's very tanky. You've got the ice armor that Fly had applied to him earlier. So he's been able to just farm and do whatever he likes.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
But we do have, you know, with Pudge-The being on the Nature's Prophet, he's got a lot more flexibility, right? There's more options for him to move around the map, do things. You know, he can participate in ganks, he can go for split pushing, he can go jungle. That does open it up a little bit more for him as well. But a lot of pressure now. Just switching over here for this mid. We do have
They're kind of close to blink on Gunner, but he's not quite there yet. And after taking the top tier 1, he'll be the one to slow things down. EG definitely struggling a bit with their tower pressure compared to the last game. That's for sure.
It's what the ancestors give me.
Fly. There's that the enchant Abed making his way over. They want to finish off that creep, and he still has a little bit of health left.
Hope
So
the Dire weren't partial to that.
we do get a bit of a pause here. I know that they were having some frame issues earlier. What's up?
Move out the tower kill. It's pretty good.
You can.
Who's cat?
You should.
Stabili?
The sponsor tag looks pretty good. Of course, if we talk about cats and you're like, what's happening?
I love cats. I'm
Where's
sorry.
the cat?
I'm real dumb for cats, okay? Yeah, there's no one there, so. I'm never sure though. Sometimes I feel like they bait me on that. They're like, yeah, it's a cat. It was not the cat. It's something else going on. You know, but they have to give a reason, right?
True. Very important.
Moo has cats, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you weren't even mega confident about that.
No, because I remember one of the cats passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I wasn't sure if he had another one, but I think they had a couple, so. That's all. I'm trying to be sensitive, Purge. You should know about being sensitive, okay?
I just thought you had an encyclopedia of all pro player cats, that's all.
God, I wish. That would be awful, though, because every time that they would get an interview, I'd be like, bring the cat. I know you have one. Bring it.
All right, carry on.
Where is Mr. Fisticuffs? I don't see him on camera. Can you solve that problem? Thank you.
Oh, man. God, I hope you get a cat someday and name him Mr. Fisticuffs. That is a great name. I think Tango would probably eat him, though.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah. Bless Tango. What a lovely dog. Again, Fly just taking up residency here. Seafreak doing the best they can, try to pushing him out, but it's gonna need a little bit more help. And yeah, okay, in comes Husky. Gonna frostbite the creep. I want to try to clean it through, but they do have to be careful. The Razor's nearby. Moo is here. Just a little bit of a standoff.
With no ward on the cliff, they're worried about the vision advantage, and even though there is the threat of arrowing Ovid, you know, just a little pressure makes things scary. When we get that haste rune though, nice pick up.
We do have Black Hole now up and running over on Enigma. Interested to see if they try to make anything happen with this. Generally, you know, they try to use some sort of a pick off when you pick it up. It's not the earliest pickup, obviously, but
yeah,
it's slow down the momentum.
I'm more interested in his Spirit Vessel pickup, actually. Husky poking a little bit. Oh, they might catch him now.
Yeah, they don't have a way to. The Blink did just get purchased by Dragonlight, though, so they do have to be aware of that over on the side of Evil Geniuses because it could set up very nicely. Get a little snipe on the courier.
Make it.
No observer wards for Fly, not right now.
Seafreak's level's pretty abysmal right now. He's just almost level 5 here at almost 11 minutes, but he spent a lot of time trying to shut down what Fly's doing in the jungle. In some ways, they're countering each other here, but I think that's an okay position to be in for Mirana. Normally, you want levels on her, but as long as Enchantress is also behind, that's a hero that's supposed to win the early game, basically. So the fact that she's struggling means that later on, Mirana will transition nicely and still be effective. So
there's the blink reveal of Gunner. That's the team, though, on Evil Geniuses. Looks like they're going to back off. They do have the healing sprites, so Fly is going to be the sacrifice in the jungle, but the rest of EG decide we're just going to let you go.
Just a little too much damage there by Nouns. Just going to give Mirana those very important levels. Kind of a cool build for her too, since there's already a Spirit Vessel coming from Moo. She grabbed Arcane Boots and now is going to go for Vlad's, probably the Wraith Pact as her item option this game, which will be quite good. There isn't that much attack speed on the EG side other than Monkey King, so it could be a decent way to really reduce the damage output of their heroes.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Mirana pick up that level 6, and she does have it now, just because it is going to allow them to set up a lot easier for, and in fact, immediately that's what we see. They've got level 6, they know that they have Black Hole over on Moo, they're gonna make their way over. And their lead with that, yeah, they do have the sentry ward, so they do spot them. But they do have that Blink Dagger that's up and running now for the Dragon Knight. So if they can catch someone, could be a very good spike for them.
Invis might give it to him. We'll see if they spot crit here when he's walking around. Nothing just yet. Just see the bounty.
I'll take that.
But yeah, they're hiding. They saw. They must have seen them go for the haste or the Invis turn. So no opportunities just yet. But ultimately, network's quite even.
Where are you going?
Abed is the least farmed, but he's not so far behind that it's terrible. Oh, there's the kill.
It's a good hit and run there. They were very patient. They had seen Fly there for a bit. So decided that, you know, it's a support kill, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
They settle for what they can get at this point. Now they can invade pretty comfortably.
And they still have that threat of Black Hole on the Enigma. It's working towards the Blink Dagger.
Much longer.
Does, like you said, have that Spirit Vessel. Ways to kind of offset some of the healing that'll be pouring out from some of these heroes.
Yeah, this is great for that BKB timing that they were looking to exploit. I mean, they struggled with it last game a bit, but you know, this is the time to be aggressive. They've got arrow levels, they've got 3 points in Frostbite. This is a good time for them actually to counteract and beat heroes like Razor. Moose shows on the creep wave, but hey, they found a hero.
They found Fly again. There's that Spirit Vessel we talked about. And they've got the damage. They'll go for a Doom over onto Enigma, so that way they won't have any of that damage. With Crystal Maiden releasing that dance, doing it. Husky, is he going to be able to get enough done? They'll still end up losing Husky next to full. And it's looking not great here for the Dragon Knight, but he does manage to get through that portal. They get out, and the rest of the team, though, following with that Fiend's Grate. They would love to get themselves a Dragon Knight, and there's the Atos coming into play. Now he knows.
Yeah, he didn't think they were going to follow him, but they made it through just in time, so instead he goes to be a little bit slow on the creep wave, but they show up and get him, so nice catch there.
Let's see if they can hit me now.
Not the best scenario for EG, but at least they didn't use Black Hole, I suppose. Halfway good fight. Felt decent, but Nouns has to be a little bit more careful about taking these engagements. I mean, it's hard to Black Hole for Moo, certainly, especially if you're a core. Because somebody's got a front line a little bit, and he wants to throw his other abilities, but landing Black Hole and Doom is up. It's just really tough.
I feel like you have to have very specific